Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Smothered in Spices. I'm your host, Sibyl Barrowette, and today we are making barbecue beef ribs, and I promise y'all they are finger-licking good. So I'm kind of hungry right now, so we're just going to get right into it. So here's what you'll need. Don't feel like you have to write this down because a typed copy of the recipe appears at the end of all my videos. First, you're going to need 3 pounds of beef ribs, so that's about 6 to 7 pieces. Then you're going to need 1 lime sliced up, then 2 shallots right here. Okay, then we have 4 garlic cloves. Those are also going to be chopped or grated. Then you have your spices. You have some black pepper, some ground mustard, some Larry's, Body and Complete seasoning, Tony Chacha's original Creole seasoning, some onion powder, some chili powder, some cayenne pepper. Then we have our Sweet Baby Ray's hickory and brown sugar barbecue sauce, some vegetable oil, some apple cider vinegar, and some water. Then you have some other materials, your aluminum foil, a grater, which I use for the garlic, but if you rather chop, that's fine. Then we have a little measuring cup, a teaspoon, a knife, a fork, and a tablespoon. And 2 bowls, one for your dry seasonings, and one for your barbecue sauce mix. Also for the shallots, kind of think of them as a third cousin of the onions, so you can kind of substitute one for the other. And if you do decide to use onions instead, I would use ½ a cup. And one more thing that I wanted to share with you, in case you haven't already caught on to my appreciation for this, Tony and I have known each other for years. We met in the spice aisle at the grocery store, and since then I've been his #1 fan, so you may be seeing him going forward. Now back to our scheduled programming. Alright, so first I cut the white layer of skin off the backbone of each piece of rib. And I've done the first 3 steps already, so I did that. Then the second thing was I cut off all the fat off of all the ribs. And if you're making this with me at home, feel free to pause the video after I list each step. Third, I cut my lime into slices and I rubbed each rib with it. Then I placed the ribs in an oiled bake pan. Alright? So the fourth thing is we're going to mix the following dry rub ingredients in a bowl. We have 2 teaspoons of Larry. We have 2 tablespoons of Body of onion powder. We have 2 tablespoons of Body of Complete seasoning, 2 tablespoons of Tony Chacha's, and 2 tablespoons of black pepper. And I mixed all of that to get this dry seasoning mix. Okay? So then what you're going to do, you're going to take your dry seasoning mix in your teaspoon or whatever, and you're going to just kind of sprinkle it on. Okay? And then rub it in with your fingers. Okay? I like mine to have just a little bit more seasoning. I like to see it. Okay? Rub that in real good. Get the sides too. Don't leave those sides naked. Get that. Get that. Da-da-da. And get that back side. Alright. And if you joined us for our episode number 4 for the baked chicken wings with the Creole kick, then you already have these seasonings already because it's the same ones. So we did step 4, we mixed our seasonings. We did step 5, we rubbed in our seasonings. So now step 6, you're going to poke the ribs with a fork so the spices get all the way in. Okay? So we're just going to poke them all so the spices get in. Okay? Poke, poke, poke. Poke, 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 poke. Get all those spices in there. Alright. And now we're going to drizzle 2 capfuls of oil over our ribs. Here's our second one. Alright, good to go. Okay, and now at this point you have the option of letting the ribs marinate overnight or baking them right now. So guess which one I'm going to do. Alright, now step 7, we're going to preheat the oven to 325 degrees and cover your ribs with aluminum foil. And then we're going to bake this bad boy for 45 minutes. So, hey y'all, quick side note, if you have some extra seasoning left when you're seasoning your ribs, don't feel like you have to use it all. This is all that I have left over, okay? So now we're on step 8. While the ribs are baking, you're going to mix these ingredients for your barbecue sauce. we're using 1/4 teaspoon of McCormick's cayenne pepper, it's the gourmet kind, 1 teaspoon of Larry's, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of ground mustard, a teaspoon of chili powder, 1/8 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of water, and 1/2 cup of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Then we're also going to add the 2 chopped shallots and the 4 garlic cloves that were grated. That's also in here too. I'm going to list the last 2 steps for number 9 and 10 now. Alright, so this is what it looks like at this point. The ribs just baked for 45 minutes, so now you have to use a spoon to cover both sides of the ribs with the barbecue sauce. Alright, so here we go. Then you're going to turn it over and do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so I added the barbecue sauce to both sides of my ribs. So I'm going to go ahead and let it finish baking for 20 more minutes, put the aluminum foil back on, and then after the 20 minutes I'm going to uncover the ribs and let it boil for 10 minutes on 525 degrees. But some ovens just have like that broil temperature, so you can turn it to that. Hey there. Alright, so congratulations to all the people that are at home right now doing this recipe with me. You guys just finished cooking, so now it's time to plate your food. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Yes. Number 2. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get this little one. And that one. We got 2 more. Ooh. I love this stuff. And another one. Ooh. Pay attention to this sauce. See that? Oh yes. You hear that? Ooh. Love this stuff. Okay. So y'all know I gotta take a bite before we go, right? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get up close so y'all can see it real good. Okay. Here we go. Woo! That's amazing. I told y'all it's finger looking good. Okay. And if you're wondering what to make with this as a side dish, let me show you. Feel free to see the episode that came right before this. I made some collard greens and they will go perfectly with this. Okay. And y'all, that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Subscribe, like, share this with all of your friends, and see you next time. Bye-bye.